All right, so Dana White and Brendan Schaub are going at it once again. You know, these two, they've always had a beef going on. But since UFC 279 that just happened, things really started to heat up again. I guess Brendan thought there was some kind of conspiracy theory behind Hamza missing weight. He thought that UFC purposely had him miss weight to promote the event more or something like that. So when Dana was doing an interview, I think after the fight, somebody brought this up and he was really going in on him. And at first he thought it was Pat Miletich, so he's going after him. But then a reporter corrected him and he's like, oh, that was actually Brendan Schaub. And Dana's like, oh, okay, now this makes sense.
I heard this thing today, and again, I don't know how true it is or whatever, that like Pat Miletich was saying that this thing was, we told Hamzat not to make weight because we weren't selling tickets and we weren't. The fucking show was sold out going into that day of the weigh-ins. I don't know if Pat really said that, but if he did, he has to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. I mean, you know how fucking stupid you have to be to even think something like that, let alone say it publicly and act like you're fucking serious. We're regulated by the Athletic Commission. And if you think that we told Hamzat Chimaev to not make weight, then Hamzat shows up and the fans are all pissed off at him and stuff, and he's going to just, I mean, and knowing, if you know anything about the sport, this is a guy that was actually in the sport, training and fighting and everything else. If Pat really said that, it's fucking, holy shit. We might have to send him out to the fucking clinic here, the brain clinic, get him fucking checked out. All right, buddy. Done with me?
I believe that was Brendan Schaub who said that.
It was what?
Brendan Schaub who made up that conspiracy.
Oh, it wasn't Pat Miletich?
I think so.
Well, I apologize to Pat Miletich then. That makes sense. Bye.
Yeah, so obviously Brendan wasn't too happy about that, and I'm sure he has his team looking into it right now. He's probably looking to see if Dana's posting on the Fighter and the Kids subreddit. I'm waiting to see the 300 pages of evidence that comes out in the next few days, but right now Brendan actually did respond to this, and he posted this to Instagram and also to Twitter, I think, and this is like classic Brendan Schaub stuff right here. Like, this is awesome. Just listen to this. He said, "Oh God, here we go again. I've been nothing but cool and thought you'd learn from the last time you mentioned my name and got destroyed." Yeah, Brendan Schaub is going to destroy somebody. Okay. Unfortunately, not surprised. You're a bully. Always have been. You put on a pair of designer jeans and some hip sneakers and think you're cool. You're still a dork with a frat bro vocabulary. I mean, Brendan is just talking about himself here. How does he not realize it? He just has no self-awareness. Like, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he called Dana a wannabe comedian that's only famous because he's friends with Joe Rogan. So Brendan continues on and he says, calling me and numerous people dummy, dumbass, effing idiot, because we have questions about the chaos at UFC 279. Also, no one is talking about gate tickets. I was referring to pay-per-view buys and how UFC 279 was trending, which you don't release to the public, but will say it went effing great, bros. Sorry, we just don't buy what you're telling us after lying numerous times, but the sheep media you pick to attend your events don't have the balls to call you out. Just in the recent press conference, you were caught lying about extra compensation to the fighters. You need a reality check. You're surrounded by yes men. You're not special. You're not original. You're a low-budget Vince McMahon. Every move you make is a copycat of that dude. The only thing you have in common is you're both on steroids and dress like a-holes. Need I remind you, your original story is a failed cardio kickboxing instructor who had two rich friends in high school to fund this business. Now you go make a cool video with the Nelk Boys to stay relevant, or you have your PR team come up with a good press story to distract the fans away from fighter pay and how they have to wear those awful Under Armour rock shoes and won't see a dime. Dummy. P.S. Quit stealing my show on Thick Boy Network and recreating it on Fight Pass. Also, leave Pat Miletich alone. So, what a response. And what are the odds that Brendan actually wrote that? I'd imagine somebody else wrote it on his team, like Mark or somebody like that. But a lot of shots were fired there. And I wonder what Joe thinks of all this, because he's kind of between them. You know, he's still friends with Dana. He works for the UFC, but he also likes Brendan, and he's one of his best friends. So, I wonder if he has any opinion on this. I mean, he probably just ignores it. I doubt he cares that much. And I don't think Dana even cares either. Like, what the hell is Brendan going to do? I don't think anybody's taking this post that seriously. I think people are just laughing at it, and they probably just think this feud is funny. It's entertaining. But actually, I did just check his Instagram post again, and Jake Paul actually commented, so I'm sure Brendan loves that. I think Jake's probably his best chance of really getting to Dana, because Jake obviously hates him a lot, and he's been talking trash about him for like over a year now. So maybe Brendan and Jake Paul could team up and like start a podcast or something. Or maybe Jake could step in as the new co-host of King and the Sting. No, I'm just kidding. But maybe Brendan does go on Jake's podcast. I think Jake just started one. So maybe he'd go on there and they could both just make fun of Dana for a while. So I don't know. Maybe this post was a good move from Brendan. He's getting attention. Jake Paul responded. That's pretty big because Jake Paul's a massive YouTuber. And if Brendan could get on his podcast, that would be big. So maybe something else will come of this. You know, maybe Brendan sues Dana White for stealing his Thick Boy Network show. No, I'm kidding. Kind of. I don't know. It's a possibility. With Brendan, you never know. I also like how Brendan brought up in that post that Dana hangs out with the Nelk Boys, and he said, go make a cool video with the Nelk Boys to stay relevant. Right there, it actually does sound like Brendan might have written this, but I think Brendan needs to go make a cool video with Jake Paul now. What a duo that would be. And I'm sure after one podcast, they'd probably both get annoyed with each other, but they both hate Dana White a lot, so maybe that's enough to have these two team up and figure something out here. I don't know. So that's about it for this video. Make sure you hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about all this, then hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.